Hey everybody at home, it's Curtis and
Kate!
from Sailing Sweet Ruca, and today we are going to
respond and react to so many awesome comments that we've had in our recent Cape Horn videos.
normally we like to reply right away and engage with you guys because we love what you guys have to say, but we've been doing so much sailing lately, difficult sailing, upwind, it's been very cold. We are charging north and westward, and yeah, we just couldn't respond to them all. So that's the goal today.
So let's get started.
All right, let's go. Okay, Jeffrey Belitz. That boat is awesome. What make is it? Our boat is a year 2000 J-Boats J46. It's 46 feet long.
Is it a racer cruiser? Would you classify?
Yeah, I think it's a performance cruiser. It was originally designed by Rod and Al Johnstone, and it was designed to be a double-handed offshore long-distance cruiser. So to be able to sail transatlantic, sail around the world, and do it short-handed. It has a fin keel, which is a shoal draft. It drafts about 6 foot 3 inches, or just under 2 meters. And it has a spade rudder, and it has a carbon fiber mast with rod rigging. Or go to our website, and there's a whole thing about our boat, and then it also has some links to other places where you can find out more about our boat's design.
You want to read this one, Curtis?
Mr. Scott Dovey? Hopefully I said it wrong. Hopefully I said it correctly. Okay. All right. Why did you go around the Horn and back to where you came from instead of keep on going?
Yes. People are always wondering, why didn't you just go straight into the South Pacific? Why did we go back to Puerto Williams? Like, why wouldn't we just go on the outside of Chile?
So first reason we've always wanted to sail in the
Beagle Channel.
Yeah.
And the fjords of Chile.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. And then the second reason is that unless you do a complete navigation of Chile, which means no stopping in Chile, you were supposed to get what's called a ZARP, or a permit, to sail a very specific Cape Horn route. Mm-hmm. It is a national park, so basically think of it like a hiking trail. They only have one specific hiking trail that they want you to hike through in that national park. They really don't want you just stomping off around, in all these other places. And that's for conservation and preservation, but they also have a military reason, and then also a search and rescue reason. It is, there are big storms, there are big waves, it's very, very cold water. So they want to keep a good eye on people. If there is a breakdown or an emergency at sea, they want you to be in range that they can rescue.
To summarize, I'll help Curtis out here. Why did we not keep going as we went around Cape Horn? Well, first we entered Chilean waters. We went to Puerto Williams to check in first because that's where we entered the country. So that's sort of the normal procedures. And then, as Curtis mentioned, it's a national park, so they sort of have a route that they want you to take. We didn't quite go that route, but we did stay within the waters that they suggest, so it was fine. So we went around and we went back to Puerto Williams for a couple of reasons. One, we want to travel through the Beagle Channel and the fjords because of its beauty and just untouched mountainsides and waterways that very few cruising sailors get to see.
It would be difficult.
It would be hard on the boat as well.
It'd be hard on the boat. You're sailing and slamming upwind into big stuff.
Yeah.
The whole way to go a full outside route.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just there becomes a limit of, what do you want to do to preserve the boat? Do you want to go out there and just break everything? Or do you want to, extend your cruising?
Here's our next comment. M2Po, I'm not sure I'm saying that right, says, do you guys not film breakages and repairs? Where is the repair drama and close calls? Can sailing really go this smoothly?
Oh, the drama! The YouTube drama! We pretty much film everything that we break and repair. That's one of the things that we feel like is good comment or good content we can show when it's available. But yeah, we've talked about that at sea, where oh no, what are we gonna show? We don't have any drama.
Well, let me answer this one. I would say, let me just look at it again. The repair drama. Well, if you guys go back, you will see we did hit something crossing the Atlantic, and then we showed
Starter motor.
Yep. Well, the first Atlantic crossing, yes, we burnt out the starter motor, and I won't say whose fault that was.
It happens. Well.
But the key did get stuck. It was just a little bit of bad luck and me not noticing it as we were trying to fix something else. And anyways, so that happened, and then as we hit something crossing the Atlantic on the way back, there was a little bit of damage behind the rudder. And so we showed all of the repair work, Curtis showing you guys how to do that.
The clue, we broke the...
No, I don't want to keep naming
broke
things.
The clue shackle.
I'm just trying to give a general...
We shaped through a main halyard.
We don't avoid putting the drama. We do try to share as much real things that happen to us as possible. But
we broke the windlass and had to repair the windlass. Actually, the windlass just died.
Yes, there have been a lot of... If you really go back and look at the videos, you'll see there's been a lot of upgrades and repairs.
The refrigerator. The refrigerator.
God. We were a month without the fridge. And it was fine. We had a lot of good
water maker,
peanut butter and jelly and tuna.
Fix up.
And so anyhow, yes, I would say sailing never really goes smoothly. I'm sorry if we portrayed that. I don't know. I think maybe we just had like a short range of good luck recently. Knock on wood. I don't know. But there's always something. All right. Let's
Colleen
see.
West 2000.
Gosh, that is such a nice looking sailboat. We are looking and constantly are told about Bluewater sailboats.
Ooh.
We can't figure your sailboat out. It sure sails amazing and looks better than most and looks super strong. Do you consider it having big enough fuel tanks and to be strong enough? We noticed that you had a rudder issue and our friends said, "See, I told you so," and stuff like that. We can't understand if this is an issue or not. In fact, Hallberg Rassys now has blade rudders too. Seems like they all do. So what is going on?
Oh, the old Bluewater sailboat comment. There's always a guy on a dock somewhere that thinks you can't leave the dock without a battle tank or a warship of a sailboat.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we think that's completely untrue. What do you think?
I would say, to summarize, without going into too much detail, there's a right boat for the right person. Everybody's different, and what works for them is going to be different for that person. And so everyone kind of has their own opinion, but we've seen people cross oceans in rowboats and things, right? So there's...
Any sailboat can be a Bluewater sailboat. It's just a matter of how you decide to prepare yourself and your sailboat, and also how you navigate your sailboat. For us, we think some of the benefits of having a little bit lighter boat and a little bit faster boat outweigh the benefits of having a stronger and slower boat. So where the stronger and slower boat may have waves catch it and hit it, or not be able to outrun or plan their own weather windows, having a faster boat, we can sometimes escape a lot of those waves, or be able to sail around some of the bad weather. As far as rudders as well, we hit a whale, what we believe to be a whale, or some other unidentified floating object with our rudder. It not only hit the rudder, it hit the front of the boat, the side of the keel, kind of glanced off, and then took a big impact on the rudder. Yeah. The rudder is designed well, the rudder post is designed well, the whole boat is actually, the steering system is designed to take a full speed collision with a rock, without the boat failing. And in our case, we don't believe the boat failed. We believe that it did its job. It absorbed the shock and put us
damage.
In a position that we could fix it.
Right, minimal damage. I mean, we finished sailing across an ocean after that collision.
Yeah, I think we probably sailed maybe 2,500 miles after that. Yeah. Maybe 3,000 miles after the collision with the whale. Yeah. Before we even noticed that there was a problem. Yeah. So, I think that kind of speaks for itself. If you use the boat according to its design parameters, I don't think you should have any problem with almost any boat.
Lastly, people that don't have a lot of knowledge of boat designs have to be wary of recommendations they are getting from other people, because a lot of your personal bias might be going into a recommendation, and as we said, one boat that's right for one person might not be right for the other. So those of you that are in a boat search or boat hunt that are maybe newer to sailing, you really have to do your own research and see why you would choose something, and if you think that would be right for you. And a lot of these things you learn through experience. Your sailing ability. Oh, Steve Maz says, your sailing ability has been highlighted time and again in the comments. I have to ask and always wonder why people that plan to sail the deep blue sea purchase a vessel with a cockpit open to the weather rather than something with coverage from weather, wind, rain, and waves.
That's a good question. What do you think?
I think Curtis just wants to watch me get sprayed with waves. I think he finds it hilarious.
I think you guys like that too. Okay, so why would we want to have a big open cockpit? Well, I guess number one, we're used to sailing boats like that. We're used to sailing race boats with really big cockpits, and I guess we enjoy sailing in that dynamic. A small closed-in cockpit. I'm a decent sized guy, and like I feel like I'm just like banging into the sides of the cockpit, and my knees are hitting things, and my back hits the side, and I can't pull a line because I'm gonna whack my arm into something. I also like big long cockpit seats so that I can lay on them outside and actually sleep while off shift, but still have the weather somewhat on me. So I can still feel the boat and feel the wind and the breeze and the temperature, things like that.
All right, next question. Bruce Parkins says, looks like a great adventure. Being a seaman myself, I am not very impressed with the way you keep your ropes. A trip hazard and not very shipshape. Untidy to say the least. But well done, guys.
Well, thanks, Bruce.
Yes.
They're not ropes. They're lines.
But this is not the first time that we've got this comment. We've had other people,
we should definitely address it.
Mention our messy cockpit, if you will. And I don't know, what do you want to say, Curtis?
Well, I guess lines on the floor of the cockpit really aren't a bother to us because we're used to a lot of that from racing. And when we're actively trimming the boat, we're switching between winches. We're even, having multiple sails up at once. We may switch, say, the jib sheet and the staysail sheet, and then also the one of the running backs all to one winch. So we have 3 different lines that are going to one winch on each side, which gives basically, that's 6 lines in the cockpit at possibly any time that we may want to use, plus the main sheet, which is 7. And then, if you're doing, any up and down with the sails, you've got the halyards there too.
Okay, so there's a way to store everything when they're not in use versus when they are being used. And so if you're doing a long offshore passage and maybe you're in a weather window where the wind isn't changing for days at a time, you can tidy up. But when we're sailing around Cape Horn, for example, and we're jibing and we're going downwind and upwind and reaching, and as Curtis mentioned, using multiple jibs, using the check stays, all of those ropes are in constant use and changing from side to side. So they can't be stored away because we're using them. I guess maybe it looks messy, but it's sort of organized chaos and it works for us. I don't know. Hopefully that answered the question.
That. Organized chaos.
Organized chaos. Okay, next question. Yes. Joe Me, I think. Joe Me. Fantastic show by boat and crew, but question. After you dropped the staysail to turn upwind, were you using engine assist? This is referring to our Cape Horn rounding video.
Good eye, Joe. Good eye. And actually, Kate did say something about power, I think, in the video, right?
I don't think so.
I think you said we powered upwind or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
We'd have to see.
I can't remember.
All right. You know what? Let's watch the video and put it right over there.
After we finished our windy conversation with the caretaker of the Cape Horn Lighthouse, it was time to turn upwind, and the 40-knot alarm seemed to be going off even more frequently. We were getting swept sideways, and thus we decided it was a wise decision to take down the staysail and power through the wind and waves with our third reefed main. Okay, guys, so we did use the engine to go upwind as an assistance. So upwind with the engine, we can motor sail at very, very tight angles, say inside of 20 degrees apparent, maybe even like
I think probably 20 true we may have been motoring at that point. So what that allowed us to do was basically just get to our anchorage a little bit faster and not have to do as many tacks. The reason why we did that was because originally we had not planned on anchoring and stopping down at Cape Horn, but the Alkmaars were or the guys in the Chilean Navy in charge of the lighthouses, where you're in radio contact, you guys hear us talking to them. Basically they preferred that we did not sail overnight in those conditions. So they wanted us to go to an anchorage, and we were happy to comply with that. Turned out to be a beautiful anchorage, but we wanted to make sure we got to that anchorage in plenty of time with plenty of light, because we had never been there before, and we had never done the shore ties and whatnot before. Also, these areas and anchorages down there are uncharted. If you look them up on Navionics, there's nothing there, or it looks like you're anchored on land even. So there's no depth markers or depth soundings. You're basically in there in visual navigation only. So we really wanted to make sure that we got there during the day. I do feel like we cheated a little. I don't know. I wanted to sail the whole thing without turning the engine on. Like, if it was up to me, I would do the whole Joshua Slocum bit through here, basically, and do it hardcore. But it's not up to me. Exactly. So guys, you have to make compromises to have a good relationship, and also sometimes a good sailing experience. So it's not all about how can I go out there and how hardcore can I be, and what you have to prove. At a certain point, you just have to say, let's just relax a little bit, and have a good day and limit the amount of risk.
Yes. All right. Let's keep going.
Okay.
The next comment question is, Jaume Marti, I hope I'm saying that right. Do you feel sad once you have accomplished your goal of crossing Cape Horn, and what's next? Do you feel sad?
But I do have to say that I don't think it's sadness. I think it's maybe you've been working so hard and so long to accomplish this goal and get there, and then all of a sudden the goal is there, but it's no longer there anymore. You just have this moment of emptiness, I guess. That your goal is now gone and you're not chasing it anymore.
Yeah, once you've climbed Mount Everest, what mountains are left, right? I guess there's still lots of amazing mountains out there, but you kind of feel like after Everest, what else is there?
Well, you'd have to ask someone that's climbed Mount Everest. But
I think but for Cape Horn, right, as the Mount Everest of sailing capes, I think it's that we did that, but there are still so many more mountains. There's so much more ocean left to see and experience and explore, and so they're going to be different. And
this is just the beginning of
our
passage and our passages and our sailing around the world. I think this is just one small part of our total overall goal, which is to sail and circumnavigate the globe completely, and also learn about other cultures and meet people from all around the world.
There was joy, but there was a strange feeling for sure. It's like graduating college or something. It's like, what's next?
So what's next?
What is next?
We have to go through the Beagle Channel, and then we're going up the fjords of Patagonia. And there's some really cool stuff in there. There's glaciers. There's ice that's floating around in there. There's endless hikes and exploring in the wilderness. We have uncharted waters that we're going to go explore. Seriously, there are no charts, no depth soundings, anything in some of the places that we're going. And then after that, we're going to, we have some boat work and maintenance that we have to do, of course, after all these miles. And then there's going into the Pacific, and we're pretty excited for that, I think, as well, to get back into some sailing in shorts or bathing suit or flip-flop weather after a lot of time in the cold.
Yeah. And what's really coming up next is maybe we're not quite done with Cape Horn yet, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
You'll have to just wait and see. And if you're a patron, you already know what happened, so
yep,
it's not over yet.
Yep. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
There's a lot more good stuff coming that you guys are going to really enjoy.
All right, well, let's combine with what's next with this next question by Marius Venter. Hi there, question. In your opinion, how would a 50-foot catamaran do sailing through the roaring 40s and 50s? Would it be safe?
The old Monohull versus Catamaran debate and safety debate all wrapped up in one.
Can Curtis keep it short?
I think we're going to find out what it is, what it's like to sail a 50-foot catamaran in the roaring 40 or furious 50s. Yeah, I think we're going to find out. And I think we might find out firsthand coming up in a future episode.
So will it be safe? Could it be safe? Stay tuned.
We need to make our best clickbait YouTube thumbnail face. Will it be safe? Find out.
Find out soon on Sailing Sweet Ruca. Well, guys, you're here for Sailing Sweet Ruca to watch the sailing, so let's get back to more sailing soon. But we wanted to say thanks again for all of the amazing comments. The kindness that we saw in your words really overwhelmed us almost as much as sailing around Cape Horn. Really, it was that amazing.
Yeah, and maybe should we finish this video up with just a little bit of sailing?
Yeah, let's drop a few clips here.
Maybe sprinkle in a few previews of what is to come.
Yeah, little sneak peeks coming up.
Just quick ones.
Yeah,
small ones. Okay.
Oh, one more. Yeah, that was a good one. Oh, Roxy!
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 Where's Roxy? Where's Roxy?
And 1, 2, 3!
Oh, there she is!
There she is!
Say hi, Roxy.
Say hi, Roxy. Say Cape Horn. Oh, we didn't answer any questions about you. We'll have to do a dog episode one time, but but people ask, does Roxy get seasick? No, not really, and she's really smart. She stays in her bed. When the weather's really nice, she comes out on deck, hangs out with us in the cockpit. So yeah, that's it for now. Roxy's happy, as you can see. And yeah, that's it for now, guys. Click subscribe and come along for the ride.
Okay.
Ciao.
Bye.